Welcome home. We are at Saratoga Springs Resort.
We're going to take a grand tour of the resort and we're going to show you a 1-bedroom villa. So, let's get this adventure started. Here we go! Saratoga Springs is actually a DVC resort, which means it's a Disney Vacation Club resort. It's actually the largest one at 65 acres, but that's because it includes an 18-hole golf course called Lake Buena Vista Golf Course. Now, you can get your room here through Vacation Club, or you can go on the Disney website and reserve a room here. You can get a studio or a 1, 2, or 3-bedroom villa. The villas are like little apartments. So they have living areas, dining, kitchen, a full kitchen, laundry, bathroom, of course, bedroom. Some of them have balconies, some of them have patios. Now the larger you go, the more amenities you're going to have. So in this area, you can see the architecture, which is reminiscent of the area of Saratoga Springs, New York. This whole resort is built themed after Saratoga Springs, which is a popular place in upstate New York that is famous for its medicinal spas and horse racing. Saratoga Springs, New York actually has the oldest horse racing course in the United States, and it has the oldest sports facility in America. Now, Saratoga Springs was designed by a group of Imagineers who were put together by someone who lived in Saratoga Springs. He heard about the theming that's going to be for an upstate New York town, and so he decided that he wanted to have it be inspired by Saratoga Springs, which is where he was from. And that's where you get the colors of the buildings, you get the architectural elements, you get the chimneys, you get the turrets. There's so many features in these buildings that are reminiscent of the Victorian architecture of Saratoga Springs and also of country retreats in the 1800s in upstate New York. Now, Saratoga Springs, while it's named after an actual place in New York, is right next to Disney Springs. And Disney Springs is not the same. That just is a fictional name, and it's themed around that name, which is a fictional spring and bottling company. And they really have no relation, even though they share the same name, Springs. I'm standing in front of the lobby, which is called the Carriage House, and we're going to go in and check it out, and then we're going to show you some other amenities in this area. So let's go. Magic. So we just entered the lobby area for the resort, and it's not a very big lobby. It's kind of small, actually. But nowadays, you know, you can check in by using your Magic Band or My Disney Experience app. But, you know, there are times where you will need to come to the lobby for certain reasons. And it's decorated kind of with a similar Victorian theming. Over here is a little area where children can watch TV while they're waiting for their parents to check in. Cute little area with little Pegasus from Hercules, baby Pegasus. There's Philippe, Beauty and the Beast. Frou-Frou from the Aristocats. And over here, this is Destiny, that's from Enchanted. And then the last one is Angus from Brave. This is a very tall lobby.
This is a picture of the Adelphi Hotel. which we may or may not have stayed there many years ago. We did stay in Saratoga Springs, but can't remember exactly where we stayed, and it may have been this place. It does look very familiar with that balcony, and I think
we stayed there.
I think we stayed there, but that was a long time
over
ago.
30 years ago.
Yep.
As I mentioned, we were going to look at some things in the Carriage House, so let's go down this corridor and we'll show you. This is an area where you can wait for check-in or just hang out. Maybe you got here sooner than check-in time, so this is a good place to hang out. Here's the DVC booth. I wanted to show you this painting because this is kind of a depiction of a scene in Saratoga Springs in the 1800s. Over here is an old photo of a water bar in Congress Spring Pavilion in Saratoga Springs. People would go and they would order water from these springs because of the restorative properties of the water. We go through here, we're going to go into several areas, but this says Artist Palette, and so we'll show you that. That's a quick service area. We're going to show you a shop, and then we're going to walk over to the dining, the only sit-down dining area, which is the Turf Club Bar and Grill. Here's the Artist Palette shop. So you can see they have Halloween stuff out right now. But you also find resort-specific items. So in this case, there's a lot of clothing. There's a Loungefly purse, tumbler, ornament, quite a few things that are specific to Saratoga Springs. So here in Artist Palette shop, you can also get things that maybe you need, like sunscreen, or you forgot your toothpaste, or things like that. So they have sundries. And then they have things for gifts, ears. They've got clothing. Over here they have some housewares. So there's all different types of things in here, but it's not a very big shop. But you know, there's enough in here that you can do a little shopping, maybe bring some things home. So as you can see, connected is the area where you can get food, groceries, grab and go. It's all located here. So let's take a look and see what they have to offer. Here's some pastries. And then they have food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner here. So right now we're here in the middle of the day. As you can see, they have sandwiches, they have kids' meals. They actually have entrees like meatloaf and roasted chicken. And you can get pizza, chicken strips, they have salads. So they have a pretty decent little selection, but you see, this isn't where you really, the place to eat. You're gonna probably go to Disney Springs if you want something really good to eat. But this suffices. And also, by the way, if you're hanging out at the pool, this is where you would get your food. You would ask a bartender out at the grill by the pool, and they'll come get your food for you in here because they don't serve food out by the pool. So they have pastries here, so you can get these any time of day, not just for breakfast. And then they have other snacks that you can get, you know, just your typical chips and popcorn and cookies and things like that. And then they have refrigerated sections so you can get food. Now remember, we said that they have villas here that have full kitchens, so you might want to get bacon and eggs and make breakfast. They have all kinds of beverages here, some snacks, some sandwiches, fresh fruit, ice cream, and large pizzas that you can pop in the ovens of your villas, Eggos for toasters, adult beverages, and then over here they have a dispenser and for sodas and coffee. And if you want, you can buy a resort mug, and it gives you refills for the length of your stay. So as you can see, it's not very large, but it has enough things in here that you can get to satisfy a snacking or a meal. This is one area you can sit and have your meals or just relax. There's one on the other side as well of this room. Note the art that's hanging. Those pieces are created by artists, and look at those light fixtures, those are cool. If you go through the artist palette dining area, you're gonna see a sign that says the Turf Club Bar and Grill. That is the only sit-down dining table service area here on the property. The Turf Club has a lounge and it has a dining room. The Turf Club Bar and Grill is decorated with racing memorabilia. So these are jockeys' jackets. I don't know if there's an exact term for that, but here's one with Mickey's all over it. When you walk in here, you're gonna first walk into the lounge area, but let's take a look at the menu real quick. We have everything from salmon and steak and pork to, you can just get appetizer of grilled artichokes, or maybe you want mussels. Anyway, here's the QR code, so if you want to scan that, you can figure out what you'd like to order off their menu. Let's walk into the lounge area. A pool table, TVs. So here's the bar window. I guess you order from a waiter or waitress, and perhaps you can go right up since they have a little machine right there and order what you'd like. So here's the Turf Club restaurant. It is a sit-down table service. You do need reservations to eat here, but you should always check because there might be walk-up availability. So this is just one section of it. It's open from 4:30 in the afternoon till 9 p.m. at night. People would go to Saratoga Springs in New York for medicinal purposes because of the water. And it only makes sense that they would have a spa here at Saratoga Springs in Walt Disney World. I'm standing in front of Senses, which is a spa that offers massages and facials and manicures and pedicures. You do need a reservation, so you need to, go through the system to book a time there. Only thing is, right now it says that the hours of operation, and they don't have any listed, and the spa's temporarily closed, so I'm not sure if it's open right now. This is called High Rock Spring Pool, and it's actually named after a spring in Saratoga Springs, New York. It's located outside the Carriage House, and it has several amenities. It has, of course, the large pool. It has 2 whirlpool spas. There's 0 entry on this big pool. It has a slide that goes through rocks and little twists and turns. And there's also a children's interactive wet play area with pop jet fountains. You'll also find here on the Rocks pool bar, they serve all kinds of different beverages, but they do not serve food. And as I mentioned, you can order your food and then they'll go get it from Artist Palette. So that's where you're getting your food from. This is called the Winner's Circle, and an artist named Gwen Reardon designed this or sculpted this. It's a bronze statue of a jockey on a horse. And in the blanket of roses, you can see the DVC logo. Along this area, which is outside of the Carriage House in the Springs, you're going to find horsing around rentals. The horsing around rents bikes and Surrey bikes, and you can rent them by the hour from 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. They have 2-seat, 4-seat Surreys, and you can also rent the bikes by the day. Next to horsing around is the community hall. Community hall is where you're going to find different kind of arts and crafts that they do at the resort. They also have video rental. You can go in there and watch movies. It's open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. If you're under 12, you have to be accompanied by an adult. And here's your guest laundry area.
A brief time out to say if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button and also please consider subscribing to our channel.
It helps us out because it helps us to know what kind of videos people like to watch. So if you could do that, we'd really appreciate it.
And now back to the video.
So now we're in the area that's called Congress Park. Congress Park is actually an area in Saratoga Springs, New York. So that's kind of an interesting fact. Congress Park area has its own bus stop and it has its own pool. And on top of that, it's the closest area to Disney Springs. It's just a short walk, take the sidewalk, catch the footbridge, and you're in Disney Springs. So let's take a look at this area.
This is the entrance to the Congress Park pool. Here's this beautiful fountain in front of the Congress Park pool. You can see how close you are to Disney Springs. It's just right across the lake. And this area is fairly narrow, so Disney Springs is just right there. The rooms here are preferred rooms, and the reason for that is because they are so close to Disney Springs and so close to the Springs area of the resort, where the majority of the amenities are located. Many, many years ago, we stayed at Saratoga Springs, and I believe we stayed in the Congress Park section. At that time, I don't think Saratoga Springs was even finished yet. And we were out on this section very close to the water. Some more of the amenities here. The barbecue area. And then over here you have a children's playground. This is all right next to the pool.
So this section of rooms is called the Carousel. And the reason it's called the Carousel is because it's named after the carousel that's in Congress Park in Saratoga Springs, New York. It's not in Congress Park here, that's totally different. Anyway, here's a little gazebo area that represents the carousel with the horses. The actual carousel in Saratoga Springs, New York has 28 horses, and it was carved starting in 1910. Kind of got into disrepair, but in 1987 they renovated it, so it's a popular place to go in the summer. This area is a gazebo that has barbecue pits and picnic tables, so you can barbecue here, relax, watch the fountains. So here in the carousel area, they do not have a pool, but that's okay because it's a short walk to the Paddock pool. But for that matter, you can go to any pool in Saratoga Springs. And of course, there's one up in the Springs area, the big pool, so you're not missing out on having a pool, even if you stay in this area.
I'm standing in the Treehouse Villas section. These were actually built long before Saratoga Springs Resort was here in 1975. The units here are very large. They are almost 1,100 square feet, 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, and the units are elevated. So we're gonna walk around and show you what these villas look like and kind of get a feel for the area, which is very cool. It's very wooded in here and it's very pretty. So it feels like you're kind of almost like in a camping type area. So let's go explore. These units are pretty far apart too, so it's not like you're right next to your neighbor. You do have a good bit of privacy.
These will be comparable to 2-bedroom villas through the DVC program. So if you're looking for price, that's going to be your comparable. So this is the pool area. As you can see, there are plenty of lounge chairs and tables with umbrellas. They have a towel pickup area. And they even have a beverage machine, restrooms, water fountains. They have a spa, and they have handicap access. Very nice. If you could smell it in here, man, it smells so good. It's very woodsy. It's very quiet in here, except for the occasional horn from the boat. These villas, there are 60 of them, and 4 actually are handicap accessible. They have ramps, so if you need that, you want to request that. Another thing to point out is, and I'm going to show you here, like this unit you can actually park in front, but not all units will you be able to do that. You'll have to park along this road. And it's close, but it's not right in front of your unit. The units are elevated 10 feet off the ground. Each unit has its own barbecue grill, so that's cool. You can cook.
Next section we're visiting is the Grandstand, which is right behind me. So this section has its own leisure pool, has its own kiddie pool. It's bordered by the golf course, so if you want to see the golf course and be close to the golf course, this is a good section to be in. It's also adjacent to the Treehouse Villas, so if you want to see the Treehouse Villas or just walk over there, you can do that from the Grandstand because it's very close. So now we're going to explore this area a little bit.
In a way, this kind of reminds me of Boardwalk and Grand Flow a little bit in some ways, don't you think?
Yeah, it does. Colonial architecture.
Well, it's supposed to be Victorian. See those, the way the panes are in the glass? They have the X's and the triangles. I guess that's to represent like what stained glass was, or beveled glass. So we're looking at the pool for the Grandstand section, and what we're looking at right here is the section for the kids. It's called Straight Out of the Gate. This area is decorated with a lot of red, with umbrellas and chairs and paint, highlights on the building. Over here is the spa. It has ADA access. It's not that huge, but you know, it's nice. It says it'll hold 10 people. And this pool, kind of big for a leisure pool, huh? Yeah. These nice sprinklers. If you get in on the stairs, or I guess plop yourself in, no diving. If you look at the building over there, you'll see guest laundry, restrooms, and then there's a little bar over there called the Backstretch Bar. There's a nice gazebo that you can hang out, you know, just wait for people, wait for the bus, or just hang out. You could barbecue here, have fans. It's a nice little area and very nicely decorated. So now we're in the Paddock area. It's right next to the Carousel section, and this area has its own pool. And as you can see from the bridge here, you can take this bridge over to the Springs area. The Paddock area has its own pool, and the pool has a 146-foot twisting slide. They also have a place that you can get breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's called the Paddock Grill. And they don't serve, you know, any entrees and things like that, but you can get a meal here. And as all pool areas, it has restroom area, place to change. Rather large pool, actually. It's the second largest pool on the property.
here are your transportation options: bus, boat, and by foot. If you want to go someplace like one of the parks, your bus is probably going to be the best bet. So just get on the bus that's going to the destination you want to go to and pick the bus stop that's closest to where you're staying. There are a number of bus stops around. We're going to show you where those are located. If you need to go from one section to another in the resort, the bus is also a very good option. Because there are so many stops, there's basically a stop in each area. You can get on at one place and then get off at another section. So for example, let's say you wanted to try the pool in another section. You don't have to walk all the way over there. You can take the bus if you want to. So the bus takes you outside the resort, but it's also a great way to get around within the resort as well.
Our destination is Disney's Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa, with transfers to the Treehouse Villas. Guests staying at the Treehouse Villas may disembark at the Springs bus stop for a transfer. This is Disney's Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa. Please collect your belongings, watch your head and step as you disembark, and take small children by the hand. Thanks for riding with us, and welcome home. This is the Springs. If you wish to transfer to the Treehouse Villas, please disembark here.
So if you're going to Treehouse Villas, you do need to get off here and catch another bus. So the next stop is over here on the opposite side, and that is the Grandstand. So this is Grandstand right here.
This is the Carousel station.
Just a short distance from the Carousel is the Paddock. Our final stop here is Congress Park.
Standing here at Bus Stop South, it's one of two bus stops for the Treehouse Villas. There's south and then there's north. So we're closest to Saratoga Springs proper, so to speak. And you can catch the bus and it will take you into Saratoga Springs, and you can get off there or you can ride it all the way to Disney Springs.
The boat takes you to Disney Springs, and there are actually two boat launches here. One that's basically in back of the Springs and one that's at the Treehouse Villas. You can get on the boat there and head to Disney Springs. It only goes to Disney Springs. So it's not going to a park, it's not going to another resort. Once you get to Disney Springs, then you can go someplace else, of course, if you like. This is your Treehouse Villas boat launch. It has its own launch, which is separate from the main resort. So if you're staying in Treehouse Villas, you do not need to walk all the way over to the main resort in order to catch the ferry, because it's right here. The last option is by foot. There's a walking path that goes from Saratoga Springs over to Disney Springs. It's actually from here where I'm standing, which is Congress Park. It's a very short walk. So we're going to take that and show you how long it takes to get to Disney Springs. This is Congress Park, and over here is Disney Springs, and this is the walkway. As you can see, it's not all that far. So we are in a section, of course, that is closest to Disney Springs. There are, I believe, a couple of other walkways that go over, but this is probably by far the quickest. So here we go. Really, you could just sit out here and watch the rainforest volcano if you wanted to do that.
This is also why they call this the preferred area.
Yeah.
Because you're right next to Disney Springs.
So if you prefer not to walk, you would prefer
Right.
this area. This walkway is closed from dusk to dawn. This goes deep into the enchanted forest. I have no idea where it goes. but it's closed from dusk to dawn. Just like that, we are at the bridge to Disney Springs. I don't know how long that is. I'm gonna say it's a 5-minute walk from where we were. We kind of stopped a good bit, but it's a very close walk.
We're going to show you a room tour that we have from a previous stay. We stayed at the Paddock, and this building right here, as a matter of fact. So let's take a look. Here we go. Let's go check out our 1-bedroom villa. As you can see right here, we have a little reception area. This is a nice area to put keys or your bags from the park or whatever it is that you'd like to put in here. Nice little table. So here we are in the main living area. We have a nice area for eating, a couple chairs and a bench. Of course, these pull out. And then we have this cute chandelier with the leather straps on it. By the way, this room must have been recently renovated. You can smell the newness of it. So we are very, very blessed to have this nice room. In here is the kitchen. And as you can see, you have a nice deep sink. And under here, you have recycling and your trash. And a fire extinguisher, by the way. These might be quartz countertops. We have a full dishwasher here, which, you know, is as big as what you would get in your home. We have coffee service here with a 12-cup coffee maker with Joffrey's coffee, which is yum. We love Joffrey's. We order it at home. We have it delivered. And an ice bucket. So everything you need for coffee right here. And then up here, we have things like a colander and mixing bowls, measuring cup, and this water pitcher, which I'm gonna fill up in a little while. These are nice cabinets. Bowls, glasses, more glasses, plates, more glasses, cups for your coffee. Nice microwave. Very big, very deep. Nice stove. Refrigerator. We have our dessert from our dinner in there. That's a pretty big refrigerator. And then freezer. And then here you can make your own ice. This is a nice kitchen. Plenty of room in there. Plenty. And then here is the living area. Plenty big enough sofa with an ottoman, and then a table that I believe this rises and can become a desk or another table if you wanted to turn it and use the couch to eat off of. So in the room, they got rid of whatever cabinetry was in here and they made a very smart choice. This is called the 5th sleeper. And it's basically a twin bed. And look how easy it is. I can just pull it down and you can have someone sleep there. There's Goofy, he's reading a book on a horse. This has outlets on the side and USB ports right here. So that's nice to have. Of course, they have a nice TV. And on this side, they also have outlets and USB ports. Over here is our balcony. And we have a pool view. Look how nice it is out there. And here we have our couch again. This couch could sit 6 people probably. That's a lot. So here's the bed. Oh my word. It's so cute under there, you should see it. Look at that. That is a lot like what the homes look like up in Saratoga Springs, by the way. There's Daisy and Donald on the porch. Goofy and Mickey and Minnie just lounging with Pluto. This bed, right here on the side, has a switch for the lights. And it also has the electrical outlets and USB ports. This is a nice feature in these villas. They have a washer and dryer, stackable, and they provide some H2O, or I don't think they call that, Ecos laundry detergent, and a laundry basket. So this is a nice thing to have. Wash some of your clothes from being in the parks all day. And here we have a shower, sink, and we have a toilet, which is nice because it has its own room, so you can shut the door, have privacy. That's a nice shower. And it has the products on the wall for your shampoo, conditioner, and body gel. It has the overhead shower head, and then it has a handheld. There's also in here, I can see clothesline. So in here we have another place to bathe. It's a nice bathtub. It's a nice soaking tub. It's not a jetted tub, but that's fine. It's a nice soaking tub. It's nice and deep. Then we have lots of storage space. Hair dryer, more H2O products, a mirror, magnifying mirror. And then in here is a closet, extra pillows and blankets for the beds out in the living room. Or if you weren't using that, I guess you could have more pillows. And hangers, an iron board, a vacuum cleaner, and a safe. So connected to this bathroom is the bedroom. Nice, it looks like a king size bed. 2 end tables, lamps, and each lamp can be turned on and off. Okay, yes. USB ports, outlets. This is nice the way they put the photographs above the bed. Nice decor. And those are pictures probably of Saratoga Springs or the area, but they have the Mickey and Minnie on horses and Donald and Daisy, and it's cute. And then over here we have a very nice large television for the room. Usually bedrooms don't have big TVs, so that's nice. And then we have plenty of storage. We have 6 drawers, and then this shelving. So we have plenty storage for everyone's clothing and whatnot. Plus, what's nice in these renovated rooms is that they elevate the beds on platforms and put them up a little bit higher so that you can put things underneath the bed so they're not in the way.
That wraps it up for our tour of Saratoga Springs today.
We showed you a lot because it's a large resort. There's an 18-hole golf course. There are 6 different sections that have rooms. There are pools all over. There's recreation, plenty things to do here, and it's right next to Disney Springs.
So we hope you enjoyed the tour. We thank you for watching, and please join us on our next magic adventure.
Bye.